Ah, The Legend of Zelda, The Wind Waker.
Wait, hold on a second. The HD Remake came out like a year ago. Good timing on this one, dingus.
That's exactly my point, voice in my head. Since I bought the game so late, maybe some other people were waiting to see how good this one was or something, I don't know.
So, from here on out, it's gonna get pretty silly. If you have an aversion to that, just shut up.
So if you think this game is perfect in every way and you don't want to hear any criticisms about it, run away now! They'll never catch you.
Probably.
That all being said, The Wind Waker is one of my favorite Zelda games of all time. The story is arguably one of the best this series has to offer. The Link from Wind Waker is actually my absolute favorite from any that were ever created. Not because he was
Chosen to be the fated hero that must save everybody and stuff.
He doesn't wear the iconic green tunic because he was destined to, but rather because his grandma forced him to cosplay. I also love the characterization of the main bad guy in the game. I won't spoil it, but the main antagonist in Wind Waker is debatably more well-written and motivated than any that have come before or since. What it comes down to is personality, and this game has it in abundance. Every character in this game has something unique about them, for better or for worse. Despite the enormous love and the widespread popularity of the Zelda series, there are some people who haven't experienced these adventures firsthand.
So here are the main points, just, for the people that don't know. You play as Link. He come to town. Come to save the Princess Zelda. God put away.
The Legend of Zelda falls under the action-adventure genre.
Oh, and I agree with that. I mean, look at this. There's action, adventure. Oh, yeah.
But what is it that makes The Legend of Zelda so magical?
If you asked me to explain it in just 3 words, I would most likely answer you. Combat, exploration, treasure, bosses, lovable characters.
That's more than 3 words.
I don't care! Those are just like 7 of the things out of the 90 billion that make The Legend of Zelda so tongue-drippingly awesome. So this here's Link. You play as him. You can rename him to Dingus. I won't judge you.
How could you?
So you start the game with 3 hearts and not much else. As you play, you get your magical sword, you get your items, and you get a whole bunch of money that you won't use for anything. The Zelda games have many motivations for you to complete your various challenges. Like saving this guy from this thing. He doesn't know to stay away from his open mouth, and that's where Link comes in with his swiggity sword and his items. Cut that. Just cut. You can take heart in knowing that even though you start out with just a little bit of life, each challenge you overcome nets you more and more so you can take on bigger baddies. It's a wonder to see your character growing along as you do, overcoming adversity, solving puzzles, fighting monsters. Now without further ado, let's get into it!
Now the thing I hear most often about Wind Waker is,
oh my god, what about that art style? It looks like it was drawn by a child.
If something is visually unappealing, I can understand why people would try and stay away from it. However, if you're staying away from something just because it's different, or new, or not what you expected, one's perceptions could end up skewed. It is suspected that most of the dislike for Wind Waker came from its cel-shaded graphics style.
The graphic style was something new, something that most people either loved or hated. In addition to that, anyone who saw the tech demo for the Gamecube itself
lay witness to an epic clash between the hero Link and his nemesis, Ganondorf,
fighting it out with their mighty swords.
Players then waited patiently for the day when they could see their gritty hero battling it out against the forces of evil in high def.
Then, on the horizon, could it be a new trailer for the Legend of Zelda game? Wait, what is this? Where's the grittiness? The new look of Zelda was startling. People's whole worlds began to collapse around them. Oh no! What are we gonna do now? Zelda looks like this forever! And the rest of us were just like, yeah!
Yeah! They wanted the new thing that they saw at the tech demo, but instead what they got was a cartoon. Now this wasn't something bad, it was just unexpected. The point I'm trying to make here is, Wind Waker was often overlooked because of its new graphics style, that some people seem to think didn't fit into the Legend of Zelda series.
If you can just accept that this is what the Wind Waker looks like, you're in for one heck of an adventure. If you can't, then just shut up. Since its initial release in 2003, the Wind Waker has gone through quite a few updates for its HD re-release on the Wii U. Once the remake was announced, people were clamoring to get their grubby mitts on it, myself included. Everyone was ripe with consumerism, even going so far as to buy a Wii U console itself just to revisit this old adventure. The first thing you'll notice about the game is that it looks a lot prettier than it did before. They really turned up the bloom like 150,000%. I mean, geez, look at all this. It's so pretty, my eyes want to just melt.
The visuals really are appealing right off the bat. Everything is really vibrant and colorful, even more than it was in the original.
The second most highly criticized thing about Wind Waker is its overabundance in hydrogen dioxide. There's just too much water.
And too much sailing. In the original version of the Wind Waker, you had only one option. You had to change the wind with the Wind Waker, watch the little animation happen, pull out your sail, and start sailing. It was a very slow and very tedious process, especially if you wanted to explore each and every island.
Sailing from one island to the next could take anywhere from 1 to 2 minutes or longer to get to where you need to go. Now, I'm not a math guy, but let's just say since there's 49 islands, it takes about 1.5 minutes to get to each island from the last one, and let's see, no need for a calculator here. 49 times 1.5, that's 10,000 minutes. How did anybody ever beat this game? Fortunately for us, Nintendo has gone ahead and fixed this stuff. They finally managed to figure out that in a game about adventure, slowly traversing the sea was as big a turnoff as putting ice cubes on my ball. Behold, the magnificent, the magnanimous, the Magna Carta, the Swift Sail! Ba-da-da-da!
Instead of a boring old sail where you had to change the wind by playing the song, watch the animation, yada 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 yada. With the Swift Sail, it's just like...
Ah, yes, the Swift Sail. Not only does this baby make you move twice as fast, but it changes the wind every time you change your mind about where you want to go. Seriously, though, the Swift Sail gave you an incentive to explore. Not only could you reach your destination faster, but if something felt like it wasn't worth your time, you could just nope it out of there. Like this, whoa, fuck that, I've got places to be. The Swift Sail is smooth sailing every time. Except for right here. Cut the video, cut the video. Oh, no! Oh, nope, we're fine. You'd think a hurricane would do more than just blow you. The third most bitched about thing in Wind Waker, wait, can I swear? I think I already have, is having to watch the little animation play every time you change the wind or play a song. Well, you'll be happy to know they didn't cock it up this time. So once per game session, you play the song and you watch the animation. And then any time you play the song after that, it just goes straight to the effect. Bibbidi-bobbidi-boo. Here are some other things that Nintendo fixed for your gaming pleasure. Whoa, I just burped. In the Wii U version, you have your trusty Gamepad. You now have the potential to use motion tracking to aim and look around. And when the motion tracking wonks out on you, you can always default to using the right stick again. You see, you're not stuck to using motion tracking. I'm looking at you, Skyward Sword! You can also switch weapons on the fly with a simple drag and drop for when you've got better stuff to do with your time. Are you gossipy harlots talking smack over here? Well, we'll see about that. I'll just leave this here, and one for you. I'm sure they're probably fine. Oh, and if you want to, you can play the whole game on the Gamepad. It's just that I can't get footage of that. I mean, obviously, it's on the Gamepad. You can't record that. Oh, you can? Shit, I don't know how to do that.
Here's another thing you can do. You can open up your maps while you're sailing so you don't have to open them in a new window. Yeah.
You still can't draw dicks on your map, though.
I wouldn't do that to you, Nintendo. You know I love you, baby.
Next up on this magical mystery tour, it's the MiiVerse.
Alright, what can be said about the MiiVerse? I'm drawing a blank. You want to help me with this one, Sting? Yep, that pretty much sums it up. Next topic. Alright, fine. Okay, so you can send little messages in little bottles, and then while you're sailing around the Great Sea, you'll see these bottles. Not yours, but other ones, from other people, just like you. Inside, you'll find a cute little message. It definitely doesn't say butthole. Yes, with the Tingle bottle, you can do it all.
You can write out a message, you can draw a message, or you can share any pictographs that you've taken. You can also use pictographs that other people have taken at the Nintendo Gallery, where the man there will make you a figurine of any boss, monster, or person that you happen to take a picture of.
Don't worry, you can just tell your parents they're action figures. Taking selfies. Come on, Link, show us that duck face. Oh, farts, I forgot they did that.
The next item on our list is the Picto Box. It was updated to be able to carry 12 pictures right from the get-go. You can also take color pictographs a lot earlier by doing Lenzo's side quest on Windfall Island.
Previously, had to get one of these thingies. Oh, it's so pretty. In the original, you still have to do the side quest, but you also have to catch one of these things. Against their will, take it back to Lenzo and he stuffs it right inside your box. And now in the remake, they just took all that and threw it right out the window. You do the quest, pfft, there you go. Color pictographs. But wait, they kept in the forest firefly. Why? What does it do?
Oh, a joy pendant. Great.
Yeah, okay. Enjoy fondling your fly, you pervert. One of my absolute favorite things about Wind Waker is Link's expression. I feel that the cell shading allowed Link to express more than he ever could before. The way he reacts to enemies, the way he reacts in cutscenes, and even helping you figure out hard-to-solve puzzles. Okay, this one's not that hard. Just bear with me. No, come back. No, please, I swear. Link's expression and the overall atmosphere of the game are some of my favorite things about Wind Waker. And one of my least favorite things is this! Don't look at it. It's making me uncomfortable. Make it stop. No. And now, if we may take a moment, we're going to go over some of the lesser qualities of Wind Waker. Now, this first one may not be a problem for everyone, so much as it was for me.
I feel a bit underwhelmed in the number of dungeons in the Wind Waker. Ocarina of Time on the N64 had 9 main dungeons, Twilight Princess on the Gamecube and Wii had 9 dungeons as well, but the Wind Waker only boasts 7.
And yet there's like a bajillion pieces of heart. What do you need all of these for? They don't taste like candy. Or do they? Alright, forget it.
It is rumored, and there is evidence to suggest that there was once an 8th dungeon in the Wind Waker. It must have been cut somewhere along the line for unknown reasons. They didn't put it back in the Wii U version either.
But I feel like they gave us a little fairy kiss on the cheek to make up for one of their bigger blunders. The Triforce Gathering Quest.
In the original Wind Waker, you had to find 8 Triforce charts that were littered throughout the various islands in the Great Sea. Each Triforce chart led you to a shard of the Triforce that you could recover just like any submerged treasure.
This lengthy process was tedious and hard, and you weren't rewarded at all for it. The Triforce doesn't do anything. Oh, hey, look, it's on your hand. Okay, great, bye.
Disclaimer, this is purely symbolic, and it is awesome.
Now you, as the educated gentleman or lady that you are thinking, wow, why did you say hard in that last part? How could it be hard to find a chart and sail from place to place, you gyroscope?
The moment you received your Triforce chart, you'll notice that you can't read it. Oh,
Piece of shit.
So what do? You get it deciphered. The bad part? This costs money.
How much money, Papa? Whatever?
Let's see here. Okay, carry the 1, plus the 2, plus the 4, 3,184 rupees. Not only that, but you had to pay it to this guy. Who even likes this guy?
In his island of man slaves dressed just like him. Oh, God, I don't want to be here anymore. So yeah, that's more rupees than most people collect in their entire game.
And woe be to he that did not collect the optional rupee wallet increasing upgrades.
The good news is, in the remake, they just took all that and right out the window.
There's only 3 charts now that you have to get deciphered. The rest of the shards are simply in the chests where the other charts used to be. Next thing on Santa's naughty list: annoyance and treasure chests.
Oh, god damn it, just a fucking rupee! Now, I know this can be quite a minor concern, but they did nothing to address it. They didn't even try. Now listen, I understand suspense, especially in a dungeon where you have no idea what's in any of the treasure chests, except you know that one of them's going to be a boss key, one of them's going to be a map, one of them's going to be a compass, and one of them is going to be a helpful item. That is where you would build suspenses on that last item, like, ooh, what's it going to be? I hope it's not a hook shot, or a boomerang, or a bow and arrow, or the iron boots again. Oh, nope, it's all of those things.
Suspense on important items is fine.
But this is just a rupee in the middle of the ocean. When you see a ring of light 100 times out of 100, it's going to be a rupee, unless it was a specific treasure chart that brought you to said ring of light, in which case I would use the suspense on those, not for every rupee you see in the ocean.
Nintendo, I understand wanting to build suspense. Like, oh, I'm fishing in the ocean.
It could be anything. It's not anything, it's a rupee. We've seen it before. You can skip the baloney. I mean, for fart's sake, just look at my total. I've seen the rings of light billions of times. I'm exaggerating, but you get my point.
Next thing on the agenda: sailing in the Great Sea.
What? Again?
Hear me out. Boat rides can be a bit long, even with the swift sail, especially when you're just trying to get from point A to point B. This is lessened when you get the Ballad of Gales that essentially lets you quick travel using these cyclones.
However, when you're just sitting there and your boat is going along, and 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 going along, nothing is happening, and I am bored.
There's nothing going on in this so-called Great Sea. There's no marine life. They couldn't put in like some sea turtles just bobbing away next to your boat. They couldn't put like a whale like doing a majestic like whale thing in the background. They couldn't put like little dolphins like jumping next to your boat. We get sharks. We get sharks that follow you and don't do anything half the time. In a game so heavily based around the sea, it's very surprising to see so little sea-based content. At one point in the game, you're traveling along with your pirate friends when suddenly a rival pirate gang is mentioned. Wait a minute. Did you mean these guys? Well, these are the only other pirate-based things in the game. These are not legally pirates. That is the one other thing you think would be on the open ocean with you. Other seafarers like yourself. People with boats. People who are just trying to get from A to B. Get the shopping for Grandma. She doesn't know how to make a tuna sandwich. Look at my rupees. I have 4,000 rupees. Why aren't there pirates coming after my booty? Also, why no fishing? There's fishing in Ocarina of Time. There's fishing in Twilight Princess. But no, a game where you're on a boat in the ocean where there might be fish. Oh, that doesn't make any sense. You can fish for treasure, but you can't fish for fish. Now, I vaguely recall there's some kind of storyline reason, like, oh, there's no fish in these waters, but fuck that, it's impossible. These people on these islands, they have to eat something. They can't just eat, like, krill. They don't filter feed. I haven't seen any cows. There's no McZeldas. All I'm really trying to say is, little things like this really break the game's immersion. And in a game where you want to be immersed in things, like the Great Sea itself, wait a minute. They didn't put in scuba diving either. Apparently the head of creative development was dead. The bottom line is they could have added a lot of new ideas to the mix to fit the setting, but they just didn't. Conclusion!
What is this, a school paper?
The original Wind Waker was a great game, even with its flaws. But now that this definitive version has come out, can we say that the original still holds a candle to this new and updated version? Every game has its flaws, and in the original, sailing was the biggest one. It made side questing and even just regular adventuring plain old boring. It had that feeling of once you've done everything once, there's no need to do it all again. As someone who constantly replays Zelda games, Wind Waker was the one that I replayed the least. And yet it is one of my favorites. But why submit yourself to the torture of sailing the Great Sea with a super slow sail, playing the wind, watching the animation? You know the drill. As someone who's played and completed both versions 100%, I can say for sure that the Wii U version is the definitive edition of the Wind Waker. The biggest issues from the original were tweaked, and it gives the game replay value in a life where time is important. I don't want to waste it by playing the song, waking the wind, watching animation. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to see more videos that I've done...
Too bad! I haven't done any yet! Wait, I have? Shit.
Oh yes, quickly. Unrelated note, what the hell is this? I saw this while doing research. Yeah, it makes me tingle too. Article, he's holding the sword by the blade. There's no, like, handly thing. I don't know, the shaft?